move on now and talk about this story that is in The Sun on Sunday. A big story, front page for them. Here it is. I can't go on is the headline. This is Phillip Schofield. Phillip Schofield axed from This Morning minutes after coming off air on Thursday. And it goes on to say that actually he was coldly denied the chance of a farewell to fans. The host of 21 Years was in an office with show chief Martin Frizzell and told his contract, which was due to end in the summer, was not being renewed. Well, joining us now, I'm delighted to say, is Hannah Hope, Showbiz editor for The Sun on Sunday. Very good morning to you, Hannah.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is a huge story for The Sun on Sunday, a huge story for you, the front page of The Sun on Sunday. It's interesting, actually, when you look at the story here and some of the other spins that are going on. I mean, you're reporting that he was axed from This Morning. Others are saying he stood down. You know the inside gossip. What is the story?
Well, as I'm sure you're aware, David, with these things, it's often PR. He was told by Martin Frizzell, his longtime friend and loyalist, that his contract wasn't going to be renewed. This was on Thursday. So how the optics of this fall out? Does he say that he's stepping down? Does he say he was pushed? In his statement, he does imply that he wasn't really given a choice in the matter. Certainly behind the scenes, the situation got so toxic that it really couldn't go on. And Holly was the horse that they wanted to back. Holly and him had fallen out behind the scenes. Unlike you and Renee, who have a rock-solid partnership on screen. But yeah, she didn't feel that he was doing anything for her brand. Obviously, we know that there had been some awkward difficulties with his brother, who has obviously just been jailed for being a paedophile. He obviously gave a statement to police, said that he was aware of the situation and didn't do anything for several months before it came to light via the victim. So, you know, it was getting quite messy behind the scenes. And Holly wants to strike out on her own.
I mean, it's really interesting when you read this. The 61-year-old, this is Phillip Schofield, he said that on This Morning he had become the story and he wanted to protect the show that he loves. As you rightly say, of course, his brother Timothy was jailed for 12 years last week for child's sex offences. I mean, it is extraordinary. He's had a very long run at that particular show, but clearly he had fallen out with his co-presenter. I think, do you have a sense of what actually went on? I think I think Holly was very upset about the fact that she wasn't informed about the whole Timothy situation before it actually hit the press.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's a hugely awkward and uncomfortable, very public court case. And obviously, this is a family breakfast show where they're sitting on the sofa together, often talking to victims of sexual abuse. And, you know, they really do need to, they did very much used to have a very genuine friendship. They used to go on holiday together to Portugal. You often used to see them getting the giggles on camera. But in more recent years, though, that chemistry and that relationship has certainly become a lot more frosty. Also, what's quite notable is in 2020, Holly left their joint management company, YMU, and had started to strike out on her own, fronting big name shows as a solo presenter rather than with Phillip by her side.
I mean, it's fascinating. I mean, obviously, it is tricky having a personal relationship with someone I know very well, someone you share the screen with. But, I mean, I think there were a lot of rumours, weren't there, about the fact that the situation between them had become very difficult indeed. There was sort of an awkward demeanour on air. Also, it harks back to when the late Queen was lying in state. There was a lot of problems over that. The fact they seemed to have sort of fast-track access into that, and I think that was one of the issues that actually caused part of that rift. Is that right?
David, you're absolutely right. Obviously, you're talking about Queuegate, where Phil and Holly were seen to skip the queue when obviously members of the public would wait for hours and hours, including David Beckham, to see the Queen line in state. When images emerged of the pair just being walked through with Martin Frizzell, their producer, the public were understandably outraged. And I think that was quite a shock for Holly to see the real kind of venom that was being spouted and spewed online towards them. I mean, you did have to type their name into Twitter, and you do really see real hatred from fans and members of the public. And I think that was a real shock for her. And she realised, actually, you know, am I in bed with the devil here? Am I on a sinking ship? The other thing I can tell you is that when this morning, which has a lot of celebrity guests, and they actually have quite a lot of political guests as well, when guests were being booked for the show, they were saying, happy to do it, but can I go on with Alison and Dermot, who were on a Friday and are seen as the understudies, rather than Phil and Holly? So I think, yeah, they realised the game was up and something had to give.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, I think there were also concerns, or at least bosses being horrified at the fact that Phillip Schofield actually issued this statement responding to the rumours of a rift without actually their say-so. I mean, in television, you have to do, or at least you put that sort of thing through the bosses before anything is done. You simply don't strike out on your own, and that will have horrified them.
Absolutely. So, in fact, The Sun have really led this story. We put them on the front page 10 days ago talking about this rift. And then several days later, he issued this statement saying, Holly is my rock. We've been through a difficult time. He didn't inform Holly. He didn't inform producers. That literally just landed in The Sun's inbox. And, and they realised that he was a live wire, and the situation needed to be dealt with as a matter of urgency. What will be interesting, actually, though, David, is that Phillip is back on air in 2 weeks' time, hosting the British Soap Awards. This is a live event, the biggest event in soap, with a live audience. I wonder if he'll get booed by the audience.
Yeah, I mean, so just in terms of his future career, and if you actually listen to what he says, I'll see you soon at the Soap Awards, he says, I'll see you again. What about Dancing on Ice?
Dancing on Ice, that's interesting. I believe that he certainly won't be back for Dancing on Ice. I was told by several contacts that he wouldn't. That wasn't mentioned in the statement. I asked ITV about it yesterday, and they simply came back with a comment that an announcement will be made in due course. I think that his sort of redundancy package, as it were, is doing the Soap Awards, which is the live event. He's hosted it for 16 years. And he's also, in the Kevin Lygo statement, Kevin Lygo is the boss of ITV, he's going to get some primetime booby prize show. We don't know what that is.
And also, just very quickly, I see, this is according to, again, The Sun, Phillip Schofield lined up for $1.5 million move to rival TV channel. This is to Channel 5, possibly.
Possibly. Channel 5 actually do like to hoover up BBC and ITV's leftovers, and they do have deep pockets, so I wouldn't be surprised if he did go over, and, you know, the money is good over there. No, I'm sure not as good as TalkTV, obviously.
Yes, I won't comment on that. Thank you very much indeed, Hannah. Really good to talk to you. That's Hannah Hope, Showbiz editor at The Sun on Sunday.